But what we need to talk to Merce about now is what happened at the Emirates today.
Thierry Henry's return to Arsenal has been one of the most anticipated moments in recent club history, and when the French legend stepped back onto the training ground at London Colney for his first official session as assistant coach, the air was thick with excitement. This was not just another day of drills and tactics, it was the beginning of a new chapter where Arsenal's glorious past meets its promising future. The players sensed it from the moment they arrived. There was an electricity in the atmosphere, an unspoken acknowledgement that they were about to be guided by one of the greatest footballers ever to wear the shirt. Many of them grew up idolizing Henry, watching his goals on YouTube, replaying his iconic celebrations, and dreaming of one day playing for Arsenal. Now, not only were they part of the club, but they were being coached by the very man whose legacy helped define it. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's golden boy, looked particularly inspired. Having often spoken about watching Henry as a child, this was more than a training session, it was a masterclass from his hero. Alongside him, Gabriel Martinelli was equally eager, his raw energy and hunger for improvement making him the perfect student for Henry's guidance. For Rodrygo, the new marquee signing, it was an initiation into Arsenal's culture and history, one that promised to shape him into a fan favorite. Henry wasted no time making his presence felt. After a short huddle led by Mikel Arteta, Henry blew the whistle and called the attackers into position. His voice was commanding yet encouraging, and his aura alone demanded respect. As he organized finishing drills, he decided to show rather than tell, stepping into the drill himself. With a single fluid movement control, turn, and a curled shot into the top corner, Henry reminded everyone of the magic that once made him the Premier League's most feared striker. Players and staff broke into applause, and even Arteta allowed himself a smile. But Henry was not there to bask in nostalgia. He quickly turned the focus back to the players. "Football is about anticipation," he said firmly. "You cannot wait for the defender to move, you must already know what comes next. Attack the space before the defender realizes it exists." His words were sharp, his delivery passionate, and his lessons immediate. Rodrygo was singled out for one-on-one attention. Henry pulled him aside during a drill, demonstrating how to time his runs between defenders, how to peel away at the last second, and how to finish with calm precision. The Brazilian responded instantly, scoring several goals in succession, each more composed than the last. His teammates cheered, and Henry nodded approvingly, the bond between mentor and student already forming. Saka and Martinelli, too, benefited from Henry's coaching. He emphasized decision-making in the final third, pushing them to be ruthless. "Don't give defenders a second chance," he instructed, "decide, act, finish." The intensity with which the young forwards embraced his drills was clear. They were desperate to soak up everything they could from Arsenal's all-time top scorer. Henry's influence extended far beyond the attack. He took time to watch the midfield drills, pulling Declan Rice aside to discuss positioning when recycling possession. He spoke to Ødegaard about releasing the ball at the right moment to exploit space, reminding him that creativity is most dangerous when it comes with surprise. Even the defenders felt his presence. William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes were encouraged to take risks in playing out from the back, with Henry stressing that bravery builds confidence throughout the team. The goalkeepers, too, received words of wisdom. Henry reminded Aaron Ramsdale and David Raya that their distribution could be a weapon if used with accuracy and speed. He encouraged them to release the ball quickly during transitions, feeding wingers before the opposition could regroup. His message was clear: everyone, from keeper to striker, has a role in Arsenal's attacking philosophy. Throughout the session, his charisma shone through. Henry's personality is a blend of authority and approachability. He knows when to push hard and when to lighten the mood. At one point, after Saka missed an easy chance, Henry joked, "Even I missed some, but not many," drawing laughter from the group and easing the tension. Moments later, however, he was back to full intensity, demanding sharper movement and quicker decision-making. Fans, as always, had their say. Arsenal's official media team released short clips of the session online, and within minutes, social media was flooded. Supporters called the footage a dream come true, with one writing, "Henry on the training pitch again, this is how titles are won." Others pointed out how players looked sharper, hungrier, and more motivated simply because of his presence. The emotional connection between Henry and the Arsenal fan base remains unmatched, and his return reignited hope across the globe. For Mikel Arteta, the session confirmed why bringing Henry back was such a crucial move. The Spaniard's detail-oriented, tactical approach already transformed Arsenal into contenders, but Henry offers something different: instinct, flair, and the mentality of a natural-born winner. Observers noticed how often Arteta and Henry conferred, discussing drills and exchanging ideas. It was a partnership of structure and spontaneity, discipline and creativity. They complement each other perfectly, one insider noted. As the session wound down, Henry gathered the squad for a final talk. His message was direct: wearing this badge means you play for more than yourself. You play for history, for the fans, and for everyone who dreams in red and white. Every time you step onto the pitch, remember what it means to be Arsenal. The players responded with applause, and the session ended with renewed determination. The impact of Henry's first day as assistant coach cannot be measured in goals or trophies, at least not yet. But what it has already brought is belief. The players looked sharper, the coaches looked energized, and the fans felt connected to something bigger. Henry's presence has reminded everyone what Arsenal stands for, and more importantly, what Arsenal can become. As the sun dipped behind the training ground, the message was clear: the King has returned, not to relieve old glories, but to help build new ones. Arsenal's journey under Henry and Arteta is only beginning, but if the first training session is anything to go by, the future looks brighter than ever.